Welcome. Welcome to CareerForce and More for Employers. This is session 4. We're so glad to have everyone here today. This series is small bits of information for employers week after week so that you can take it and go back to your daily work without too much interruption. So far in this series, we have had an overview and some of the top 5 web pages within careerforcemn.com that are useful to you. We've mentioned some of the job fair and hiring resources on the website. We've had an explanation about how to use minnesotaworks.net, our national labor exchange system. And today we have 3 guests from our employment services teams throughout the state. We have someone from veterans, someone from vocational rehabilitation services, and someone from workforce strategy consultant team. These are teams that can help you go deeper in your strategy, in your hiring process, that are no cost to you and who can just work with you with all of those steps to hiring people from different populations. Next week, we'll be hearing from labor market information, not so much an update to labor market data, but how to use all of the tools that we have for you so you can access that information yourself. And then session 6, the week thereafter, we'll have someone from federal bonding and justice involved job seekers who can talk more about how we serve and how you can connect with people who might have a need to have a little bit more grace when it comes to background checks and um, other issues. So you can find all of the recordings for previous sessions on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for CareerForce MN, and then at the CareerForce MN site, look for playlist CareerForce and More for Employers. And there are 3 videos up there so far. I use the same WebEx link every single time. So the link that you're using today is the one for the next coming weeks as well. Just a reminder too, I wanted to point out that the state of Minnesota is highlighting January as Healthcare Month. On our careerforcemn.com/healthcare page is the start of a number of subpages all about resources for employers, resources for job seekers, and resources for educators and others. So we have hiring events, we have tip sheets, we have a labor market, blogs, and so much more. So please check those out too and share those with job seekers who might be considering a different path to their career. So today, I'm so happy to welcome 3 of my coworkers. They're fantastic leads on these teams, and they can get you going in helping your business go a little bit deeper. Anytime you want to access this information yourself, you go to careerforcemn.com. As you can see on the top here, go to For Employers, and then even more resources. And that is the start on the right-hand side of all of those tips. But right now, I'm just going to jump right over and introduce my coworker, Shannon Sprouse from the Veteran Employment Services team. I'm going to stop sharing and he's going to share his screen and walk you through all of the veterans resources for the next 5 minutes. So please put your questions in the chat at any time. Over to you, Shannon.
Hello, everybody. Let me just get the sharing underway. All right, so everybody should be able to see my screen now. As Liz mentioned, my name is Shannon Sprouse. I am a senior local veterans employment rep with the state of Minnesota, well, with DEED, in the Veterans Employment Program. As you see on this slide, there's 2 ways to get a hold of us. careerforcemn.com/veterans, which I'll show you a lot more about, as well as emailing us veterans.careerforce@state.mn.us. All right. So about our program, we're a state program within DEED. We're funded by the U.S. Department of Labor, the Jobs for Veterans State Grant. Now, every member in our team is also a veteran, And our goal is to bridge the gap between job-ready veterans and promote veteran hiring within Minnesota employers. Now, we do this by providing employment services for eligible vets and partnering with local businesses and agencies throughout the community to promote hiring initiatives specifically to the veteran workforce. Now, we also have a team of, we have team members, that assist special populations of veterans, such as those impacted by homelessness, Native American vets, women vets, and those that have been justice involved. So that's just a quick overview. Half of our team, they assist the veterans. They are the Disabled Veteran Outreach Program specialists, and they provide services specifically to the veteran population through one-on-one intensive services. And their goal is to help them overcome any barriers to employment that they might have, and help that vet to become job ready. Now, they then work in conjunction with the local veterans employment rep, like myself, to help them get that employment that they're trying to achieve. Which leads us into what I do and what my colleagues do specifically within the community with local businesses and other partnering agencies. So we primarily conduct employer outreach to promote veteran hiring. We try to get job leads from you all to push out to the local veteran workforce. With the goal of referring vets back to your open positions. So we try to maintain good working relationships with hiring managers and recruiters at local companies, just to ensure that there's good flow between your jobs and the veteran population out there. We also plan to participate in career fairs and just stay connected to a number of agencies and resources throughout the community. Our job really is to advocate for all veterans served by our CareerForce locations across the state. Easiest way for anyone to get connected to the Veterans Employment Program is through our page on the CareerForce website, which is www.careerforcemn.com/veterans. From our main landing page, visitors can select either resources for veterans or for employers. Through the website, vets are able to fill out the Minnesota Veterans Questionnaire digitally, which will help them to get connected to the appropriate services. Oh, excuse me. They can also get contact information for their local Disabled Veterans Outreach Program specialist and get connected to their services. There's a lot of other resources that are available to them that really don't matter so much to you right now. But for employers, the vets page specifically for employers has a number of hiring resources, including a guide to hire veterans, which is created by the Department of Labor. Now, this guide, it's circled here. It's right in the middle of that red circle. That guide, it talks about the business case of hiring veterans. Hiring a vet isn't goodwill, it's good business practice. And that guide can talk to you about why that is. But your primary resource should always be your veterans employment rep. Now you can click on that applicable link you see there at the bottom of that slide to get all the contact information for the local vet reps broken down by region. And along with providing one-on-one intensive services to veterans and conducting employer outreach, we also host a large in-person veteran-specific career fair each year. Now, our next event is going to be in May at the Earl Brown Heritage Center in Brooklyn Center. So be sure to connect with your vet rep for more information and to see about getting registered and participating in that. Our vet reps don't just work with employers. We're also involved with the Yellow Ribbon Network, city, county, and state government. We provide demobilization and reintegration support to National Guard and Reserve units, as well as working with state colleges and universities to identify education and training opportunities for our vets. Our program is here to either provide the necessary support to eligible vets or get them connected to the available resources. So that's it about us. Again, if you want to get connected to us, I strongly encourage you go to careerforcemn.com/veterans. Click on that link for the employers and get connected to us. You can also just email us at veterans.careerforce@state.mn.us. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. I put the two links in the chat so you can grab it off of there, and then you can go to the website. Next up, we have Maureen McAvoy of Vocational Rehabilitation Services. Maureen, take it away.
Thank you, Liz, and good morning, everybody. As Liz said, I'm Maureen McAvoy. I'm a program specialist in placement with Deed Vocational Rehabilitation Services, or VRS as we call ourselves. And if you're not familiar with VRS, we have been around. We've celebrated our 100th year last year of providing services to business and job seekers with disabilities. And so basically, we assist businesses with recruitment, hiring, and retaining people with disabilities. We have about 50 offices throughout the state, and our talent pool ranges from, entry level first job seeker to highly experienced professionals. And in addition to working with businesses to find out what your recruitment needs are and helping with hiring people, we can also provide information, training, resources, and consultation regarding disability and hiring and retaining people with disabilities. And you can find an array of information that is very great. I'm going to try to share my screen. Let's see if this will work. I'm sorry. That isn't, hold on one second. My computer, I think, is as cold as I am today. So let me see if I can share this now. Is that working, Liz? Thank you.
Yep.
So on the CareerForce site, there's some great information and our contact information. You'd go to for employers, of course, tailored resources. And as Shannon said, here's some information about veteran resources. And under that is disability resources. And you'll see a number of links here about the benefits of hiring people with disability, getting help, workplace accommodations, some new training, which I'll go into in just a moment, and then some great information, some documents about, how to hire, retain, and promote people with disabilities. But I wanted to make sure we got down to the bottom here, connecting with your employment specialist. And we do have some key regional contacts for businesses with VRS throughout the state. And I just wanted, if you click on that, you'll see statewide. Right now I'm covering central Minnesota due to a vacancy, but that will change eventually. And then in the metro, a couple of contacts. We have Northeast, Northwest, and then both Southeast and Southwest. Also wanted to let you know that we have a special deaf and hard of hearing unit within vocational rehab services. And an excellent unit. You can contact Ron Adams with questions, and our sister agency, State Services for the Blind, that works with people with who are blind or low vision. And Dave Smith is the contact there. And what's some great information on this website, especially if you haven't done a lot with reasonable accommodations or not too familiar with the ADA. There's some great information. Those are things we don't work with every day, so it's nice to have a good resource. The other thing I want to point out on this page is there is a link to the Job Accommodation Network, which is a fabulous site. If you haven't used it, it's free. They have an Ask Jan feature, and you can get personalized help with any question you have. We in the field use Ask Jan quite a bit sometimes, because new things come up that we haven't encountered. So just wanted to let you know that that's a great resource available to you just at the click here. Quickly, what's been added recently is some training for businesses called bite-sized learning modules. And this is a really cool thing. We're excited about it because you can use it in your teams. They're bite-sized, so about 20 minutes. It can be used during a lunch and learn or a team meeting. There's a video, and then there are some what we call takeaway cards that you can ask the team some questions and review and discuss. So there's currently, if you scroll down, there's 5 modules available. ADA, reasonable accommodations, building an inclusive culture, which we find this one's very popular right now, communication, and then one on mental health. So we will be adding to these. This is the initial rollout, but so continue to check that. But these are great training resources. So I thank you so much. Please reach out to me or one of our contacts throughout the state if you want to set up a meeting and chat more. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Maureen. Yeah, the bite-sized learning modules are fantastic. So I really recommend that everyone on this call take a look at them and see if you can implement using them in your business. Next up is Jackie Buck, who's the director of the Workforce Strategy Consultant Team. So good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Liz. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm going to try and share my screen here this morning. Just 1 second. Let's see. And Liz, you can tell me if it is showing. Okay,
Yep.
sounds great. So with that, everyone, I just want to let you know a little bit about our team. I direct the Workforce Strategy Consultant team, and we have 6 strategists when we are fully staffed. As many of you who are struggling with workforce issues, we have had a little bit of that as well. So as we are getting back to full strength, our workforce strategy consultants actually develop innovative workforce solutions with businesses by aligning resources, facilitating collaboration, and leveraging expertise in targeted industry sectors that drive economic equity and growth in Minnesota. So if you can use this phenomenal website, CareerForceMN.com, to be really a resource for you in attracting and developing talent. It goes through a lot of resources that are available that you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. Attracting talent, developing talent, how to become a talent magnet, basically, and an employer of choice in your region. We found that as we wrote a lot of the information on some of these different tabs, how important it was to be able to know what's relevant in today's workforce. Underdeveloped talent, there is a lot of things that are related to, how do you have an engaging onboarding experience when you're bringing in a new person? How do you develop maybe a development plan, and helping person develop a career pathway within your organization? And then what are some training opportunities that are also available to you? And where can I find out more about these training grant resources, as well as some of the on-the-job training or internship work-based learning opportunities? Where do I go? How do I find out information about this? We have a great partner with our Department of Labor and Industry that helps to develop and is the state authority for apprenticeships, which we're finding out is one of the greatest ways to attract and retain talent within your organization. So it shows you not only how to contact a local CareerForce location, but how to go directly to the Minnesota Department of Labor and Industry website and connect with someone on apprenticeships. We're finding that most employers are focused so much right now on retaining talent. It's so hard to attract that retaining talent is really one of the key focus areas. And it talks about developing a workforce plan or how to have an inclusive workforce environment. There's a lot of things under the talent resource tab as well that connects you with hiring underserved or underrepresented populations. and connections for that. And then going to virtual and interactive services, there's, as we've all gone virtually, there's so many great services under this tab of connecting with CareerForceMN.com, getting some personalized services, and also connecting with regional teams. There's so many ways to find your regional team of experts on CareerForce.com that can help you either via the phone or video call or by email. As well as you can see, there's a lot of online resources. If you have never or are not familiar with the Career One Stop Business Center, it is a national website that this can connect you to. And not only does it have a lot of videos on it, it also has a job description writer. So if you're an employer who is looking for some tips on how to write a job description or even need a template, this is a great place to go. And I can show you what it looks like right now if you haven't seen it. It also shows you where all your American Job Centers are, and it has some great tips and tools. But now I'm going to go back to CareerForceMN.com and show you we also have a lot of tutorials and things like that on here as well. Even more resources, just very quickly, I wanted to show you, here's where you can also meet your regional team. And you'll see a whole section on resources from your workforce strategy consultants. Like I said, we have 6, 1 in each region of the state, 1 in Northeast, Northwest, Central, the Metro, Southeast, and South Central, Southwest combined. Some of the resources include not only how we can help you, but how you can find your regional strategist, and a number of blogs that we've written, as well as some tip sheets on what's relevant in attracting and retaining talent today, as well as our Workforce Wednesdays. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. But here's a little bit about what our workforce strategy consultants do. Here's how you can connect with them. And as you know, they're located throughout the state. So we design tools and resources to support businesses in creating workforce solutions. So instead of some transactional activities, we work on transformational activities. We work with maybe manufacturers, a group of manufacturers in a region who have who are struggling maybe to find workers and need to come up with a regional strategy. We are a connector, we're a convener. So in a lot of cases, if you're like, who do I call for this? I'm not quite sure how to move forward with creating opportunities for disability population. That's where Maureen and myself and my team would work together, as well as with Shannon. And if you are looking to hire some veterans. So we work very closely together. And like I said, you can find your regional workforce strategy consultant in the region. You can see the areas in which they cover, just looking at this great map. And one last thing before I end, I just want to share with you about our Workforce Wednesdays, which is the first Wednesday of every month from 11 to 12 noon with a 12 to 12:30 unplugged session. And it's all about relevant topics and best practices that our employers are sharing about talent attraction and talent retention. If you have missed any of these, they are also located on here, different recordings and things and who's presented. So it has great resources here. And then it talks about our next one, which is February 2nd, I believe, strategies for engaging with Minnesota's BIPOC workforce. So just a little opportunity for you to run around here and take a look at what the CareerForce website has within it. And I encourage you to really use it. It has great resources. Thanks, Liz, for having me today.
Thank you Jackie, for talking about all of that. They really do have fantastic resources and are regularly publishing blogs and webinars for businesses. So there was one question about whether the veterans team works with spouses, and the answer was in some cases they can. The Minnesota Veterans Questionnaire has some questions for spouses to determine eligibility. So thank you all who checked in today. We'll post this within the next 24 hours on the website. And at any time, you can contact me or contact the CareerForce Information and Assistance line. And you call them at 651-259-7500. And then there's a phone prompt, 1 for this, 2 for that, 3 for that. And that will get you to the right person to get your questions answered. Otherwise, you can always send an email to careerforce@state.mn.us. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.